Welcome to Learning the Business of Landscape Design. I am Dan Lee. This is CAD 101. Today we're going to work with layers. Layers are very useful to organize and control a drawing. Layers have properties such as color, line type, and control whether they are printed or seen on screen. Layers are very easy to work with, but in many ways they can be counterintuitive. To start investigating layers, let's go up to the Layers panel on the Home tab. And we have this pull-down menu. So with the command line empty, you can select this pull-down menu and see what layers are available and whether those layers are on, frozen, locked, and what color those layers are. So if we click on one of these tree symbols, we can see it is on L trees. And if we wanted to, say, change the color of that layer, we can go through here and change it to blue. Now everything that is on that layer is now going to change to blue. So it's as simple as that. If we want to turn off a layer, we can go back to our trees and we can turn off a layer. Whatever layer is up here with the command line empty, that is your current layer. Very important to note that I am on layer L0. If I turn off layer L0, I will get this notification that objects you create from now on will not be displayed in the drawing until you turn the layer back on. Okay, now you can see that layer L0 is off. If we start a polyline, and this is one of the most frustrating things for many of my students, is that they keep drawing in a layer that is off. So you think you've done nothing, but once you turn that layer back on, you can see what you've drawn. So I'm a bigger fan of freezing a layer. And now when I try to freeze the current layer, it'll say you can turn off the layer instead of freezing it. So basically you cannot draw or do any functions to a layer that's frozen, but you can to a layer that's simply turned off. I'm going to erase this line now. Let's go back and turn my trees back on. Let's turn them back to a green. Some other things we can do with layers is that we can change it from one layer to another. So we can say it was in trees, now we're going to say it's in pools. So if we need to switch objects from one layer to another, you simply click on that, pull down the layer that you want, and select the new layer. Very simple. You can also hit undo to undo layer changes if you made them by mistake. So current layers. So current layer is what you're drawing on. If we want to go to maybe trees and we want to make trees a current layer, we can do it as simply as make current. And so now we have the command line empty and trees is our current layer. Something else we can do is change individual items. Now let's look at the properties. So this is colored by layer. That's why it's on L trees and has that color. But we can switch that to by block or pick any other color we want. So if I wanted a red tree for some reason, I could click on that. Now that one instance of that one tree is now colored red. Something to note with colors. You can go down to more colors and we have all the colors, but we want to stay with the index colors. All of the colors on this bottom row are grays, so let's stay away from those for now. These are your named colors. So if I click on red, it'll say red, yellow. When you get down to this color, it's black, but it's also white depending on what color your screen is. So right now, my screen is white, so it's showing up as black. If I had a black screen as a background, it would be showing up as white. There is a color down here on the grays that can look a lot like white with a black background. So just know that those are all grays and just stay away from those until you understand more of what they do. I typically stick with just a handful of the main colors, and then I have special uses for some of these other colors that we'll talk about. We have all these colors to pick from, but let's stick with these main colors down here for now. Once we get into making our drawings more hand-drawn, we can do that through the plotter interface by assigning some of these colors different line weights. So we can actually gray out lines in the plot settings when we move forward into finishing our drawings. So I'm going to say OK for now. Thank you for watching Learning the Business of Landscape Design. CAD 101. Please follow us on YouTube at Learn Landscape Design, and don't forget to subscribe.